Have you ever found yourself at the dollar store with $5 in your account and being forced to choose between picking up a shitload of multicolored drinking straws or abstaining from your cylindrical lust in order to add even more games to your already insurmountable Steam backlog? Well, that's what I'm here to help with. It's time to look at another 5 Steam games that come in at $5 or less. This is Steam Dollar Menu.
I have to say that was the most delicious dinner I have ever... Oh, hey, Ed. Hello, James.
So our first game is from Edmund McMillan and James Id.
John Evans, Matthias Bozzi, bunch of...
It is...
Fingered.
Fingered. Which is an awesome name for a game in and of itself. It's a pretty simple concept for a game. You have these witnesses, and they tell you things about the person you're trying to convict, or I guess in this case, put in the electric chair, and you have to try to figure out from what they say who is the culprit and who needs to be fried. It has a lot of good humor. I really enjoyed the newspaper articles between every round. Is this about the rapes? Jesus, please sing! Local man found bumpy. There's a lot of dark humor, as you'd expect from an Ed McMillan game. It's definitely something I can see getting at least a good few hours of enjoyment from it. I don't think I've made it past day 8 yet, but it's one that I want to keep trying just because I want to see all of the ridiculous things that happen and everything that's in these newspapers. And the characters are pretty fun, the people you talk to. So they have like different personality traits. So you have the old lady who can not see very well, and you have a racist who says not nice things about people that are different than him. And you have to take these character quirks into consideration when you listen to the things they say, and from that you've got to try to determine who needs to die. I had a lot of fun with this. This is really great. It's only $1.87. That's the full price, which is very interesting. But it's $1.87. I definitely think it's worth your time. You'll get your money's worth. I definitely recommend it.
Clearly, he...
Finger him!
Fingered!
I was just like everyone else. I had a family, job, friends. I was happy. To me, one day something happened. It felt like I was possessed by something evil. I was attacked by such a strong anger, I couldn't help it. We lived not far from the village in the woods. Our family was not perfect, but we were happy. I had a daughter and 2 sons. The mishap occurred when I was in the woods and stumbled upon a strange crypt. At that moment, I was met by wild anger. At that moment came to me my wife, and nearby lay the axe. Then it was all a blur.
What? This game, this story is ridiculous. I don't even really understand the story. You wake up in a crypt and your family's dead, and you walk around and you find keys, and then there's a loading screen. You move to the next area and you're wandering around and you find keys, and that's it. The end. There's not even puzzles involved with finding the keys. They're just randomly laying around, like just sitting there. You just run into them. It's not like they're even really hidden either. It's just you kind of bump into them. I acknowledge this is probably one of the first games that this person produced. Looking through the other games they have on Steam, that seems to be the case. Also, apparently, they've released a remastered version of this in 2019, and I own another one of this developer's games, which is also 99 cents. So that'll be fun to check out. Maybe they got a lot better. It's a few games down their list. I can't even really recommend this. It's 99 cents, but I don't think I could recommend it for free. A lot of the broken English is amusing, as I tend to find it to be. but it's just not very compelling. The sound design's pretty good. It has a good spooky feel. There is some tension if you play with headphones, but like there's no immediate danger. There's like nothing coming after you. There's nothing you really have to worry about. It's kind of like a walking simulator with keys. It only took me, I think, 18 minutes to beat, and the only reason it took 18 minutes is because near the end, I got, when the next area loaded, I couldn't use my flashlight. It would just flash on randomly every once in a while, and I was stuck. And then I went into the graphic settings, changed the graphic settings, and then I could see my flashlight. And then I literally just walked a couple feet, and that was the end of the game. And it pretty much ends with you like deciding, hey, I may have murdered my whole family in cold blood, and that was a not cool thing to do, but I'm going to try to be a better person. I got a positive attitude, and I think everything's going to be okay. That's how it ends. If for some reason you get this like in a bundle or somebody gives it to you, I guess check it out, but really, it's not really worth your time. I hope everyone enjoyed my Mamamax impression.
By the way,
Bit Blaster XL is a love letter, a throwback, if you will, to the one-screen arcade games of yesteryear. This is one of the games that I bought years ago when I was first getting into playing games on Steam. I think it was released in 2016, and it was very cheap, and the reviews at the time were very positive, and I figured, why not? Let's take a chance. At that time, I had hardly any games, and I fell in love with this pretty quickly. It's very effective in what it does. Very simple gameplay where, so your ship just keeps moving constantly, and you shoot constantly. You don't have to push a shoot button or anything, and you just gotta navigate, collect the different power-ups. There's a bunch of different kinds of weapons, and you have bombs and a force field, and you just try to see how long you can last. And you collect coins to unlock additional ships. It's a blast. Atom Fission Games, the developer of this game, is now involved with the Atari Recharge series, and I haven't played them all yet, but the games that I've played are very good. Like the Centipede Recharged, I enjoyed a lot. Centipede's one of my favorite games, so I'm real happy to see that he went from his humble beginnings here to working with a major company like Atari. I see now that I'm researching for this video a little bit that apparently there's a new Super Bit Blaster XL version that's $3.99, whereas this one's 99 cents. I'll have to check that one out for a future video, but as it stands, Bit Blaster XL for 99 cents. If you're into old school single screen arcade games like this, like Asteroids, that kind of thing, it's definitely worth it, and you'll definitely get your money out of it. And this soundtrack is pretty boss as well.
but sometimes fate prepares an ordinary man for an extraordinary destiny.
This next one's going to be pretty short. Crumb, Edge of Darkness, which I can't think of Crumb without thinking of Crumb from Our Real Monsters. Crumb, Edge of Darkness just wasn't a very enjoyable experience. I was expecting from the reviews I saw for it to be pretty middle of the road, and while it's not the most offensive thing I've ever encountered, it's just not really fun. It is a hack and slash RPG. Alright, so I've got two main complaints about this game. The first one, I don't know how to describe it, but like the graphics make my eyes hurt. Some of it's just like way too bright, and I mean just the graphics in general just have a weird quality to them that hurts my eyes. The other big issue I have is the combat. In the description on the store, it touts how you can't just button mash, you've got to like be strategic with how you battle, and there's like different button combinations for different combos to do, but it just didn't feel good. I couldn't pull off the moves consistently the way that I feel like I should have been able to. It just didn't feel good. I ended up getting into a couple battles, dying, finally winning, and then just deciding to run past all of the enemies that I encountered. And then I ended up getting to like a boss character on a bridge, and I couldn't get past him, and I quit. The game is $4.99, and I can't really recommend it. Some of the voice acting was okay, but the problems with the graphics and the combat just kind of ruined it for me, and there just wasn't much for me here. I'd pass this one up.
Matt?
Dude, everyone's going crazy. Everyone in town is just attacking everybody. It's like that shitty M. Night Shyamalan movie. What? Never mind all that. Okay, I figured it out. Now this is important. The secret to survival is press X to not die. Good job, dude.
Oh my God, Matt! Matt?
I didn't press X in time.
Matt!
Press X to Not Die is a game that goes right after my heart. I am probably exactly the target audience of this game. I remember hearing about this when it first came out, and I remember hearing some positive reception. I picked it up back then, but I never got around to playing it. It is an FMV style game where it's just a bunch of live video with porn grade acting.
Hello?
Careful, son. You might hurt someone with that.
How did you do that?
Same way you do it. I pressed X.
How do you know about that?
It's the way it was supposed to be.
So you know what's going on.
I do.
And the gameplay really consists of choosing different answers to reply to people and a bunch of QuickTime events. That's it. I think a lot of the humor lands. It's very cheesy, it's very self-aware, and it pokes a lot at the convention of these kind of FMV games and just general horror conventions. Some of the jokes, though, are pretty bad. There's some topical jokes, or at least topical for the time, and there's a lot of references to Twilight and Hunger Games, and those moments are pretty weak and kind of killed my enjoyment a little bit, but luckily they're few and far between. Me and the developer of this game seem to share a similar disdain for Insane Clown Posse, so that was fun.
Hello? Juggalo. Why does it have to be a juggalo?
There is some replay value here. There are different, like there's an achievement for how much of the game you have seen. So when you go through it every time, you make different choices, you see more of the game, and you get closer to getting that achievement. There, I guess, are a few different endings, and there's some content you have to kind of dig for in the dialogue trees if you want to see it. And it is worth it. It's pretty funny. This game is $2.99, and even at full price, I'm going to say it's definitely worth it. If you like really bad, cheesy, old horror movies, and you have any kind of nostalgia for FMV-style games, and you don't mind QuickTime events being the main mechanic of a game, this is definitely a good time. I actually played through it twice the first time that I played this because I wanted to see more of the branching paths in the dialogue trees. And I also wanted to check out, there's a very silly, like old style, like what this game would look like if it was released on the Sega CD, and I had to check that out. It was fun. It's a cute little gimmick for a couple minutes, but it's kind of hard to play like this, and thank God we don't have to deal with that anymore. If any of this looks interesting to you, I would definitely recommend to check this out. It's definitely worth their $3. It's a lot of fun. They've never made anything else in this development team, but I hope one day we might get a sequel.
Hey! What the fuck? Stop hitting me!
And there we go. Another 5 Steam games under $5. There was definitely some doozies in there and a couple of unpleasurable tastes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all of those obligatory things, and I will see you next time.
I love chocolate. I love chocolate.
Juggalos.